Hey there, Jeremiah Johnston here to teach you a little bit about some wrist traps with clubs. Wrist traps are a fun style where you trap one club between your wrist and the other club. If you're familiar with these, you know there are lots of different possibilities, and I got a couple quick tips for you first on how to get started with wrist traps. First, we need to acknowledge what a wrist trap is. It's a snapping closed of the club against your arm. You don't want to try and trap it over your arm. That is not a good way to go. You want it to line up with your arm. And then there are two fundamental ways to trap a club. There's on the inside of your arm with the club pointing in the same direction as the thumb, and then there's twisting your wrist and trapping on the outside of your arm in the opposite direction of the thumb. So we have trap A here, which leads to the twist traps, and we have trap B on the outside, which leads to the hook shots. We're going to explore those two styles now. All right, first off, let's start with the hook shot trap for using trap B. One of the first things you want to learn how to do is to simply catch a trap into trap B. So a quick toss and twisting your arm around so that you trap it on the outside of the arm will lead you into trap B. At this point, you got to give the club a little swing and release it from there at the right time so the club is freed. So a good way to start out too is to simply hold the club in the flat position so that when you drop it, you end up in trap B, and that can help strengthening that trap grip. And so with the three clubs, a great place to start learning the hook shot is to just catch it out of a trap or out of a juggle, and as soon as you catch it, rotate so that you move along a line from that catch that you did. So don't catch it here and then try and spin it around here to hook shot back in front of you. It's much easier to move it in a line. So you can use this as a turn, as a 180-degree shift. So if I'm juggling this way and I do a trap, I can turn and I use it to change directions. So that's like the most basic hook shot. Trap, turn. Use the other hand, because a lot of these patterns are going to be rotating or cycling from right side to left side. So another one that's a great one to get you started is to do a simple little roll over the arm into the trap. So notice I'm holding the club upside down. I'm here and I'm ready to trap on the outside of my arm, and I'm going to make contact with the club just down from the tape so that I get a nice roll over the arm. If it's too far down, it'll fall over my arm, and if it's too high up on the handle, it won't want to roll over. So you got to find that sweet spot. It just takes a little experimentation. And then trap it, carry it through, all the way to the hook shot. Now what's great about the hook shot is once you learn this this basic movement, you can take it to a lot of different places. The same action can be used starting up here on the shoulder. So if I place it just below the collarbone, above the pectoral, and let it roll down the arm, notice the handle is going to go to the outside of my arm, the body rolls to the inside of my arm, and it rolls straight into a trap, just like this. Now I'm in the same position to hook shot. Same exact ending as just rolling it over my arm here. So whether I choose this or I choose this, I'm still using the hook shot to finish the trick. Now there's tons of different possibilities for this. As you continue building up, you find different places where you can roll from. You could go from over your head. Whoop, let's try that again. Okay, maybe I chose a little too difficult one there. I don't do that one enough. How about here instead? We'll throw a little flat and make contact there to hook shot. Or a placement on the chest. Pop it over into the hook shot. In that case, it's like I'm doing chest placements, and I use the body of the club and make contact and give it a little pop into the hook shot. This is definitely a favorite. Oop, already messing it up. Yep. Or down the arm here. Yeah. rewind. There it is. And so, once you start exploring the different possibilities for these hook shots, then you can start learning to use them to turn, and you can use them in patterns. You can recycle the pattern from the right side to the left side. So for example, if I want to just use the basic one that we started with, rolling it over my arm, once I hook shot, I need to set myself up in my right side for the next one. Notice as soon as I hooked it, I can either turn it over in my hand or just prepare for, once I throw that first club, I just turn the club over and roll it over the other arm. So the whole pattern would look like this. Do a 1.5, roll it over the arm, hook shot, switch, hook shot on the other side, switch, hook shot on the first side. So you'll notice I have the hook shot and then one setup throw. The hook shot, one setup throw, and then I'm back into the trap again. Hook shot, setup throw, back into the trap. Hook shot, setup throw, back into the trap. Depending on the trap, you'll have more or less setup throws depending on how you want to play it. So one of my favorites is the one where you roll it down from the upper chest and then into the hook shot. And at this point, you've got some options. You can either use the other hand to set up for your next one, which would look like this, which frees the hand that just did the hook shot for a little extra spin or whatever you might want to do. Going back and forth, goes like this. Or, rather than using the free hand, I could use the hand that's hook shotting, which would go something like this, and it'll have an extra setup throw, but creates some interesting potential because I'm placing a cross body to get that shot there. But it's still the same placement, it's just coming from the other hand. What's cool about this is that it ends up giving you that extra setup throw, which you can use for other things. So you could do a double placement, for example. Something of the sort. How can you mix those up? Maybe you do a placement followed by a little pop. Here we are trying things on camera that I've never actually tried in person before. One followed by the other, just to prove the concept. Got it. Okay, that counts. Counting. So a useful little thing to play with your hook shots too, because it gives you some potential to change directions, is from the hook shot, rather than going straight into a toss, actually just bringing it up to this hanging point here, right before you would release it. This allows you to speed up the whole trick cycle. So rather than doing the hook shot down here, going for that toss and having all that extra time, I have so much time that I can remove the toss entirely and just go to this point and grab. Just go to that point and grab. So I lift it up here. Once it's horizontal, once that trapped club is horizontal, this one's already getting placed, and my hand is right here to grab that club and move into the trap on the other side. So, hook, 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 hook. That can be used in a lot of different ways. Same kind of thing here. There's the toss, or you can do just the placement. Left side, there it is. Right side, left side. So it speeds up the whole pattern. Another useful little thing to play around with is from the hook shot, rather than tossing it, this time you're just going to do a little tiny toss in between and switch sides with it so that you can get the trap going back and forth here. This allows for an interesting possibility to either collect, another way to enter the trap itself, or to transition to some twists. So there are tons of possibilities with all this hook shot stuff. It's an excellent and fun way to flow between different styles of juggling. It mixes in well with other types of juggling, and it can be used pretty dramatically. This is the wrong trap. This is a trap A, as you can see by the direction of my thumb, but still, trap B can be used in that way as well. Using traps for stopping, transitions, there's so many possibilities. Let's check out the twist trap. The twist trap is from the trap A, as we talked about, same direction as the thumb. Now here's the tricky part to learn. The twist has to come from the knob. So in the beginning, it's actually useful to slide the club down just a little bit so that the knob is making contact with the club, can't go any further. Then you've got to get the twist so that it goes up and around, goes around the arm, and is going to release out here. So twist, release. Twist, release. Right? And so that just takes some trial and error. You got to find the right release point so that it doesn't just shoot into the ground, and you'll find the range of motion, right? If you release too early, it shoots into the ground like that previous one did. If it releases too late, then it flies in the opposite direction. So, twist trap. It's pretty useful to be able to go for a double, and there is a little bit of a lift that happens so that you can get that height. And then some of the real fun comes when you start repeating the pattern. So as soon as you've tossed it, then you can drop it down into the next trap. My other hand is just set up so that I do the twist and drop it straight down into the trap. Twist, trap, twist, trap. Now, what's fun is because of the position that I'm dropping it, if I rotate my arm and catch it on the outside, same place we were using, that we'll often use for trap B to get into the hook shot, but the club's facing the wrong direction for a hook shot. So I catch it there and I end up in the twist, so I get this pre-twist action that I can then follow with a twist. So it goes something like this. Just add that on. Adds that extra swing. Opens up some other possibilities for time without the extra flourish. And then back to the shorter version. A lot of possibilities there. So getting into trap A for the twists can be as simple as, if you're in a scissor catch grip, then you simply let go of the top club. If you turn your hand over so that you're looking at your palm, turn the hand over, you're straight into the trap. So getting into a trap can be as simple as this. I just drop that club into the trap. Twist. Now if I want to switch to trap B, one great way to go is to just turn the club over as I'm dropping it so that suddenly I end up in the hook shots. So I could be going from trap A straight to trap B, and now we're at the hook shot style. Kind of helps you switch gears. Yeah. So one final hook shot or a trap trick for you combines the hook shot and the twist, or the trap A and the trap B. You should find yourself in this position. I'll show you how to get there in a second. What I've got here is I've got one trap A, I've got the other one in trap B. Now if I twist, as if I'm going to do a twist release, then the twist will happen naturally. It's going to do the same thing it usually does. But the hook shot, you have to intercept. So, to intercept that one, you've got to just have your hand up here ready to grab it. The full thing goes like that. Great way to get into it is this extra little trick that I haven't showed you yet, where, well, I have showed you. I showed it to you as the pre-twist, but I'm not going to end with the twist out of the trap. I'm just going to do the pre-twist. Now the club that I'm holding, I'm going to drop down onto the other side. Club that I'm holding, drop down to the other side. So using that little back and forth, I can then drop both of them down into the next trap. You need to make sure you've got a good V here, because I'm going to twist my hand around, drop both of those into the trap, and bam, I'm right there into this double twist action thing, which leads right into that trap, right into that finish. And that's what happens if you don't grab the other club. That's what I was missing. There we go. There we go. Hey, that wraps it up for this little trap tutorial session. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned a little something. Don't hesitate to drop me a line on the socials if you have any questions or need any help. Take care.